Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for July 31st through August 6th, 2017. So let's just take a moment to connect in with our souls and our heart center. And they're showing me a tree and with a third eye. So this is give me a sense of um, at the center of your connection this week is there's going to be a lot of intuitive activity and a lot of awareness in this week. So you're opening up to new possibilities. You are having opportunities to see more clearly your goals. Maybe there is some sense of direction, almost as if you are able to put your finger on something, meaning that your guidance is becoming or guiding you in ways that towards signs or your instincts are is almost like you can almost begin to touch it. That there, in some way it becomes a little bit more physical. The realization of your guidance, you're seeing where it's leading you, and you're 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 maybe able somehow to sort of separate that inner critic from the well-being of your guidance. Maybe you're a little bit more discerning about what's healthy for you versus getting caught up in you know the vulnerabilities that kind of shut you down. So there's a sense of being um, afraid to be vulnerable, and in doing so you shut yourself down, which causes you to shut down your intuition. And you do this because of out of fear, just out of complete fear. You could be afraid that you're going to lose something, and it's usually what fear is motivated by. Remember, fear, it's not evil, it's just afraid, and it's motivated by lack. It's motivated by the things that you may lose, the challenges that you may not win. The ego is all about a loss. You taking some loss of some sort, and would rather for you to stay safe and sound in a box where not much is going on. And this is how it's so easy for us to be so resistant to change. And it's so easy for us to kind of become isolated or stagnant in our lives. And it's all based on that fear that you have so much to lose. And you do have a lot to lose, because every time that you lose a lot, you gain a lot. You gain a lot more, actually, because if you stayed stagnant, you don't get to know yourself better. You don't get to know life better and the way that life could really be for you if you aren't really willing to lose a lot. Because the universe will always fill in any void. And so don't be afraid to lose a lot, because the universe will fill it with much more. And the way that we get it to be filled with the much more that we need is that we have to trust that what we're doing, what we're willing to lose, is because we're willing to do it for something that's healthier, something that's better. And and when you keep yourself focused on, even though you may be afraid of the changes, but if you can take a moment, take a deep breath, discern, is this going to be really healthy for you? Is this going to, this is like giving up, you know, some foods that taste really good, but they're not good for you. And I know this is a simple analogy, but in this case, we need something like this to understand that change. We have to look at, discern, is the change better for us? Is it healthier for us? Because we could have it good, but like in our eating, our diet may be good. I mean, we're eating, right? But are we eating as well as we need in order for our bodies to function at its optimal best? And so it's the same thing with your life. You know, you may have some things that in your life that they work, but they are not helping you to keep up with the work you know you're capable of, or the purpose you're capable of serving. And you know and you, in some instances, they're not allowing you to be as happy as you could be. And so this is the trade that we must lose in order to gain. And we must understand that the endings are there so that the beginnings are so much better. And that if we could really focus on beginnings and not worry about the endings. Because in comparison, they are so much different. It's like one is, um, you know, it's almost like if every beginning is full of excitement and thrills, and your adrenaline's running, and yeah, all kinds of things run through your mind. Yeah, you're afraid, but it's all good at the base of it. And it's like a big overture in a symphony, as opposed to the endings. They aren't any less valuable, but they can go sort of like a setting sun. They can go quietly, and so don't wrestle with them. Don't try to let them go quietly into the night, as they are naturally wanting to do, so that you can get your energy, get your recharge for that new beginning and new opportunities that you're looking at, and that you're facing. So don't be afraid to let go for that which is going to, they're writing the word augment, or increase the experiences that you're already having in terms of good experiences. And if you're wanting to get out of something because it's not good and it's obvious, don't be afraid, because even then we're still afraid. It's like, well, at least I know that. I've been dealing with this, let's say trauma every day of my life, and at least I'm familiar with it. I know how it works. I've figured out how to work around it. And that's not good enough for you. Not from God's perspective. It's just not good enough for you. So yeah, you're gonna have to take a loss to of coping in that situation, but it's gonna be so much better for you when you allow yourself to have these gains that are there, just waiting for you to open your heart and fear just a little less. I know that just doesn't sound good. It sounds like it, it's not something we readily get. Let's just put it that way. But trust yourself. Trust that feeling that you have, that you deserve this, and even that little spark of hope that some opportunity gives you. And no, they're saying that you're going to be safe, and they're showing me sort of this white energy, light, just sort of out in front. It almost feels like a table or a stream or something, a blanket covering everything. And they're writing something about the month of August. And as I was talking about that, and then they wrote the word year. So maybe from this month of August, moving in the next year, starting now, and it doesn't mean that it may or may not start for you, but in between that time, you're going to feel as though some blanket of protection is around you, or that something is supporting you. So, and that's going to come in helpful signs and hunches. So they keep writing the word integrity in front of me. And this really means that you have to honor your own soul's integrity. The protection is there, the opportunity is there for this increase in your life, but you have to make the decisions to honor your own soul's integrity. And that is to always be aware of what is really healthy for you. So don't worry about what you could lose. Just focus, don't worry, but just focus on making those decisions that honor your soul's integrity. Allow yourself to come into more alignment with that integrity. And it's almost like I want to say it this way. I feel like I'm hearing it. it I'm losing it, but don't be afraid to be afraid of not honoring that your soul's integrity. Okay, if you're gonna be afraid of something, that is not something you should be afraid of. It should be something you're glad to do. But it's almost like if you're really gonna put your fear in some place, put it in that. Meaning, don't allow yourself to do that. Okay, um, so it's gonna be very, very important. All right, let's just see what else is kind of coming through here. And they're giving me a sense that you really need to connect in with your divine energy. So there's sort of showing me that you need to spend more time. Um, I feel like energy work. Um, in your meditations. Doing some energy work on yourself. They were showing me the angels just open up their arms wide, and this white light just expands in all directions around you. And there's a sense that when you, if you've got, I feel like you've gotten away from something, some kind of sacred work that you do, or energy work that you do. And meditation is a part of that. If you're grounding yourself and you're doing these, you have little rituals that you're working with light energy that is wrote out, and that you're not doing that, and you're gonna really need to embrace that again. And first, one of the things they're showing me is that it calls more angels to you, especially with white light, um, and around you in your circumstances, and it places the peace of God at the center of everything that you're doing. So it's really important not to drop your rituals because you're starting to get really caught up in a lot of the busyness of the world, all the errands, etc., and chores and deadlines and finish lines and etc. And so, this sacred time, sacred space, activity, rituals, whatever it is, however you call upon that energy source of divine light, however you work with it, because everybody works with it in different ways, but whenever you put your attention towards divine, you activate this frequency of light. And so it's really important, because they're showing me a trunk of a tree really wide, which is very good. It means a great connection. And they're writing the word faith out. And one of the things is that your faith will be boosted when you make time for whatever ritual that connects you with the divine, and sort of invokes the spiritual light of God around you and in your life. So as you do this, your connection increases, your faith increases, your intuition increases, and you have more clarity. You will have more faith in your guidance as well when you do this. So don't sacrifice this. Also, I'm getting something about needing to sleep, get rest. Rest is not. It's not a thing that you just do because you have to, and it's not a thing that you can cheat. You can't steal time in your day from your rest period. Your body needs that 8 hours of sleep for all kinds of reasons, for the physical body's health, and for your emotional well being. You need that time to be in a state of no resistance, so that in that time you are allowing, and that's a time of alignment, not only on the spiritual level but for the physical level, all the levels, emotionally, mentally. You need that time. Rest is a time for alignment, and that time of alignment balances out all of the time when you're awake and when you're not always in alignment. You're going in and out, and just imagine how it would bug you if you were on a connection, like say a phone, your cell phone, and it just keeps going out the entire day. You get really ticked off about these kinds of things if your internet connection isn't steady. But we don't get upset when our source connection isn't steady and optimal. And we actually choose to work in in unfavorable conditions of our own alignment throughout the day. We accept it. We chew the fat, so to speak, and we move along, and we don't feel very healthy as we're doing it, and we get really sort of bent out of shape and put out a lot and stressed out a lot. And this is all coming because we're not we need alignment time, and that 8 hours of sleep is your time to align. And the meditation or your rituals or whatever how it is you connect every day is a reminder during waking that you are to maintain that frequency, and you can't maintain it if you don't know what it feels like. So if you're not doing your daily ritual, whatever that is, however you connect, then when something goes off, you don't appreciate the alignment because you're not really, it's not at the center of your mind. And so it's really important for you to keep that sacred time and keep that sacred nighttime. Don't cheat. Okay, go to bed. You get up, and I guarantee you will have more energy to get more things done in the time that you are supposed to have to get those things done. So don't cheat. And what happens is once you start cheating there, then your energy is being cheated for everything else that you're trying to do. You're going to feel like you don't have enough time for your family, you don't have enough time to get this done, you don't have enough time to get your work done, you don't have enough ideas, you can't think fast enough, you're blocked. And this is the reason. So put this all back into perspective with simple techniques of treating yourself well and honoring your body, your not just your body, but honoring the time of alignment, which is one is your sleep and the other is it meditation or ritual, connecting in crystal, whatever, prayer, whatever it is for you that helps you to connect. If it's creating, painting, or listening to some music for 15 minutes, taking a break, or cooking, whatever it is, you need to make sure that that's part of your day every day. All right? All right, so let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week from the Archangel Oracle deck. And we had this card last week, All Is Well. We've had Archangel Jeremiel come up quite a lot this in the last month. And he's like the sort of the psychologist, archangel, if you will, and he helps with life reviews and when you need that sort of reassurance, and if you need an archangel to kind of really listen and guide and provide insights and wisdom. And when he says all is well, this card, I'm getting a sense, is that there are things that you get stressed very easily and you don't see always, as the card usually says, is that everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. With hidden blessings you will soon understand. So here we can have that faith, right? If we're not getting our time of alignment, and it obscures the reality. It obscures your connection and your ability to perceive what's really happening. And to, there are those times that you get this sense that things are going to be all right. But when you don't have the right, when you're not taking care of yourself, and you're not doing focusing on your integrity, you get out of whack and you can't perceive this and you stress out more than is necessary. And so this, uh, he comes through to remind you this week to take care of yourself and I'm feeling like self care. Put this at the top of your list. You know, you want to you want to, you got your little agenda for the week or your errands that must be done. Well, put this at the top of your list. Take care of you. Okay? Don't do anything that stresses you. Say no to whatever that stresses you. Okay? Make sure you take, and I was expecting Archangel Raphael because I'm really feeling also it's about making sure you take time to do what feeds you, your soul, your body, making sure you eat healthy meals and making sure you're eating all your meals, drinking water, making sure that you are taking time to put into your schedule something that you want to do, something that feeds your soul. If it's going sitting by a lake, or going into a park and sitting next to a beautiful spot or a rock or whatever it is, make sure you put this in for you, this time, because you will have a totally different perspective. And he's writing out the word anxiety. It's giving me a sense that there's a potential for a lot of anxiety going on in this week, and some you've been experiencing, and that it could get out of balance. So another word he's showing me is that you need to balance your schedule. Okay, you need to balance things more, but you don't need to don't juggle things. um, the thing juggle balance your time with the things that matter to you as well as the things that you're working on. Just don't balance you know somebody else's stuff and then somebody else's stuff on the other hand. Balance that stuff with the things that you need to that feeds your soul, that you need in order to feel good and um, feel that sense of alignment and flow for yourself in the week. So um, don't negate your own flow and the things that you need. All right, let me just tune in and just see if there's any additional messages. I'm seeing a window and a shade kind of half pulled, and the sense about this, I don't, it's not negative, but it just feels like sort of you're kind of shutting yourself in a little bit, and windows represent opportunities. So don't be afraid of opportunities. So I get a sense, are you hiding? Are you afraid of getting out, or are you not getting out a lot, and doing some fun things for yourself? And have you been praying for a lot of things to happen, but you're not getting out there? You're if you're pulling the shades down on your windows of opportunity because you're afraid to get out, or you have just gotten in a rut where you just get stuck inside a lot and you don't get out a lot. And the prayers are happening, but remember, the prayers are happening through the interactions of each soul. And so you got to be out there in order to have the experience cross your path. Opportunities are out on paths where you are out there, and if you section yourself off inside somewhere, and there's no path running through, then you're not on the path where you can be aware of them and have them um, interact with you. So make sure that you get out. And this may be that you may have been feeling a little down. I'm seeing this same thing again. So talk to Archangel Jeremiel, to help you to see what it is. Maybe you need a little review in your life right now, where you need to sort of look at some of the things that are going on, some of the choices you're making, what's holding you back, how can you move forward. So maybe you want to journal with him and kind of talk about these things and see what comes up for you. But the thing is to focus on the right action step. Ask to be inspired um, to to move out of this. To show me that you don't want to get caught with your pants down, so to speak, and you're trying to protect yourself, and you're being a little too. This could also be somebody who's out there, but you're just playing it safe, and you gotta take these risks. They're writing the word back. You're gonna get a lot back from going. Um, letting yourself be exposed. They're showing me lots of people. Once you put yourself out there and let yourself be vulnerable, lots of people gather around. So whatever it is that you're offering and you're trying to propose or whatever you're trying to do, people are going to be very, very interested. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. All right, so we have the Princess of Spring, which is the Page of Wands in the traditional tarot. And this card is about, usually the wands are very energetic. So you may say a little restless, hyper. And so there is some new opportunity coming through for you. And it's going to require it's going to require some energy. It's going to require your creative um, approach, looking at this thing from all different angles. And I'm getting a feeling like, maybe you don't always trust yourself, or you don't know if you have, you don't know if you have this, what it takes to, or this energy to put into this new thing. So maybe something's coming up for you, or something approaches you that's different from what you're used to, and it kind of really takes you out of your sort of comfort zone. And what you got to discern is, does it make you feel a lot of passion? Does it, does it um, uh, sort of reinvigorate you, or and then is it healthy? And don't worry about if you're going to have enough energy. Yeah, it's going to require it. It's going to require a lot of your attention, a lot of your focus, but it's going to be something that you really are going to feel enthusiastic about once you get started. Like, from this position, and you're looking at it, your mind just goes, oh, this is just going to be, I don't know if I have time for this. I'm going to be doing this, and I got to do this, and then if I take that on, I got to. But the thing about it is, what you have to understand is that when something, comes from the wands, when something is passionate, when it has a lot of fire, it brings energy to you. It's coming into your life because it's going to augment. There's that word again. It's going to augment your frequency. It's almost like it's going to charge you from within. And this is something that you and I keep forgetting. We are extensions of Source, God. So therefore, our energy we're self-creating. We're self-energized. Like, we're like a battery that self-charges. Okay? And when you don't feel charged, when you feel like you just can't get a charge out of life, that's because are not connected, and you have forgotten, and you've closed yourself off from who you truly are and how you were made. You self-charge. So don't be afraid of opportunities that are going to come to you, because if you feel that little tingle all through, then go for it, because it's going to charge you from within. You're going to have endless energy, and there are going to be infinite challenges that you're going to have all kinds of solutions for, that you're going to feel as though you're thriving and like you're alive and you're really living for the first time. So there's this promise of a new start, but don't be afraid of the new start, is what they're saying here. Going right back to the beginning, don't be afraid of the losses, because the gains are so much more. All right, let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. Another wow. So this is we almost got the whole family here. We have the Prince, which is the Knight of Spring, and the knights love they live for a mission, right? So this is something that with this knight, he lives for a mission and he's restless. Like if he doesn't have something to do, he's gonna go stir crazy. So he's always looking for something. And so possibly one thing that's coming to me is that you may need to be you need to be actively looking. You need to be actively putting yourself out there. um, don't be afraid to jump right in. Okay, so this night would, charge right in, and when he's passionate about something, he doesn't hesitate between the thought occurring to him and taking the action. There's no gap there. And so you need to just go ahead and dive in, would be the advice that the Prince of Spring brings. So whatever's blossoming in your life right now, dive in, go for it. All is well, as Archangel Jeremiel is saying, and everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry, okay? You're gonna have it says immediate action, a challenge you can successfully manage, a passionate relationship. So this is something that you can handle. You're capable here. And if you look at this as moving in a stage of progression from, the princess or the page being sort of the immature energy, and you're moving to the next stage. So you're maturing here. You're growing up, and you can handle more. So as you kind of get involved in this situation, whatever it is, you realize you can take on more, and you see more things that are um, that you are capable of doing, and that you have the skills, and that that they can utilize all of your talents and your abilities. So don't be afraid of that. Let me just tune in and see if I get any additional messages. That's weird. I'm just seeing like a little small castle, and not quite sure what that means, but you know the sense I'm getting, they're showing me a branch, a really thick branch. So there's something that branches off. Okay, so maybe the castle is, princess. Okay, you're maybe a home, or a place of work, um, some other, it's castles usually represent kingdoms or something. I'm gonna let some of you gonna probably have your own reactions with that, but the sense is that maybe they were showing me that branch. Maybe there's something where you are, and there's gonna be maybe a promotion or some kind of branching off, or maybe you may start something of your own. Okay, so that's what it feels like to me. Like it's something you're going to branch off on your own and start your own quote unquote kingdom, so to speak. And maybe it may be something you do from home, or it may just be something you set up somewhere else outside of the home. So if that's coming to you, and it doesn't have to be a physical. Maybe you're have a business where you're mobile. You go to people, you do consulting or something like this. But the idea is, and I get with this prince, because I don't think that they would like to be stuck indoors for very long, or be in a home situation work. They would probably want to travel to other people, because they have all that energy. So maybe it's something like this for you. Okay? All right, let's take a look. So don't be afraid of this. You have an idea where you would need to you'd be mobile and moving around in order for your work. It was like something like consulting, or it could be all kinds of things where this could be a possibility. And now we have, wow, okay, so we have another page, or the Princess of Winter, which is the Page of Swords. So here, this is about communicating. So, or learning, maybe learning something. that I'm getting. Let me just tune in and see what kind of which way this is going here. Um, so this is about intellectualizing something, um, and they were showing me. So it's about maybe you're intellectualizing abundance. They were showing me a mushroom or something about finances. You're I'm feeling a sense of something about budgeting. Maybe you are um, you're learning. So they're showing me like a very thin trunk of a tree, and it was broken with the word August in there again. So there is something in that's breaking your connection. So there's something about finances, um, and it in the month of August where you may get too much in your head about the money, or how the resources to do something, and it's breaking your connection, and so you may need to, um, first of all, you got to trust your instincts here. You got to take bold actions. This is new to you, so that means that you may need to like consult with somebody who is a little bit more mature than you are. Notice we have a lot of we have the pages and nights in this reading. So you know, you may need to really lean on someone more like a queen or a king, who's got a little bit more knowledge and wisdom, has done this, has been down this path that you're going down, can kind of guide you. I'm seeing the word references. Maybe you may want to look into getting some references to help you, to give you, to network, or to refer you to people who may you may be a great match with, that where you can that may provide some opportunities or advance the opportunities that you've begun to receive, or make on your own. Kind of build upon your progress that you've already made. Um, Also, they write the word compensation. So make sure that you also are being compensated adequately for the any opportunities that come up for you. Don't cheat yourself. Don't because when you're worried a lot about money, and this is why we shouldn't allow ourselves to do it, but we all do. So I can't talk, any of us can, but we really shouldn't allow ourselves to worry about money, because when we do, and when opportunities come, we aren't willing to sometimes stand up and realize that when somebody's giving you an opportunity, it's because you deserve it. They're not giving you an opportunity because they're like helping you out. They're not helping you out when they want to. Nobody gives invest or gives you an opportunity if it's going to cost them. So when they give you an opportunity, it's because you stand to increase their revenue, or whatever is their goals are. You are the advantage. So when they hire you, or when they offer you an opportunity, make sure you get compensated. And this is going to be challenging for some of you, and this is what they're talking about with this card, where you're going to have to really, even though you may feel a little like you're inferior. I've been saying that word a lot, now I understand. Even though you may feel inferior, and feel like wow, they're giving you this chance, and I got to do everything I can to prove myself. uh, if you start out with that energy, you're going to stay in that energy 20 years. I don't care how far you advance, they will always treat you that way, and they're going to pay you that way. So make sure that you understand that once somebody has decided to present an opportunity to you, you deserve it, and they want you because of what they know you can do for them to increase their gains. So act like you deserve to be there, and don't cheat yourself. Okay, it's coming up again, cheating yourself. So that's why we don't shouldn't cheat ourselves out of our alignment time we were talking about before, because because when we do this, we don't feel good about ourselves, and then that's when we get desperate about money, and then we take anything, and then we don't feel good when we're doing it, and the feel good gets worse. So don't put yourself in that position. All right, whoa, way over time. And let's take a look at the card from the bottom of the deck, the Six of Spring. So this is a card telling you that successful opportunities coming up in the week for you. Receiving some kind of recognition, or praise or accolades for something, or rewards. So this is a time where opportunities could pay off. But the thing about it is that you need to be in the right state of mind here and know your worth so you don't cheat yourself. Okay? All right, so we'll conclude here. And I send you lots of love. Thank you all for watching, and for your comments in the previous weeks. And also, if you haven't yet joined us for the daily card messages on Facebook, you can find that link below this video for the daily card messages Monday through Friday, which goes a little bit deeper into the week. And you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And if you like an angel reading, feel free to contact me at theangelschool.com. Some people have asked me about intuitive courses. You Classes. I don't have any classes that I've arranged right now, but I do have the Divine Roadmap where you can do one-on-one training, intuitive training, or if it's anything you want to go through in your life, that can be used for that. If you would like for me to set up a class for you where you're in your area, you can contact me about that, and we could see how about setting something up like that. So have a wonderful week. Take care of yourself. Okay, don't cheat yourself out of that alignment time of rest and relaxation, meditation, whatever that is for you, and see how that boosts your confidence and your faith and your perspective in this week. So lots of love, my friends. Next week.